wants to try for a baby. He also still has a fear of being cheated on. Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Plays, and welcome to a brand new series. This is a sequel to my Shipwrecked survival challenge. I'm doing something I haven't done on the channel for ages, which is a non-challenge based series. So hopefully you guys like it. We'll see how it goes. I'm starting with these two little cuties. So obviously this is Malachi and Matilda. If you've watched Shipwreck, you'll know this already. I'm going to try and give you guys information if you're new and you haven't watched the previous series about the Sims. But the gist of it is Matilda and her brother crashed on a deserted island that was actually in an alternate kind of reality. I've decided Muapalam isn't part of this world. It's like through a portal, kind of Bermuda Triangle style. They were saved by a deity called Vaya, who's a sea goddess. She, over time, saved a bunch of other Sims as well. People who would have otherwise died from drowning. She saved them and plonked them on the island with Sebastian and Matilda. So the group, we ended up with about 10 Sims, 11 Sims, ultimately have escaped. They've managed to get Vaya on board and her fellow deity, Kano, who is the god of the volcano of Muapalam. Matilda met Malachi. He was the third person to shipwreck on the island. They had 2 children. There's 4 Sims I want to really follow in this series out of everyone that was on the island. These 2 who grew up on a deserted island. They've never seen a TV or a radio or a computer. They're familiar with the concept. Their parents did try and keep them up to speed. They've learned how to read and everything. But they're going to have to enter the school system and deal with a completely foreign world. The only kids these 2 have ever interacted with other than themselves is their cousin Caspian, who was a toddler at the end of the series. He's now a child. I aged him up as I was moving everyone into their different houses. So it's going to be rough re-entry for them. I'm going to try and accurately depict what that looks like, but obviously The Sims being what it is, these guys will auto cue doing things that I think probably they shouldn't do. But I've moved this family into Copperdale because the problem Matilda had is she ended up being a priestess to Kano and Vaya. And Kano, being the emotionally stunted deity that he is, formed an emotional... What are you doing? She's not actually... Sweetheart, are you okay? You're not actually weeding. Can I get you to actually weed? Kano formed an emotional attachment to Matilda. He tried to destroy the marriage right at the end because he realised he didn't actually care that much that they were getting married. It was more that Matilda was about to leave that he had a problem with. He kissed Matilda. He is based on a spellcaster, so he used his spellcaster power to create an emotional attachment between the 2. Matilda actually has 2 romantic relationships in here. The other is with Kano. This is like artificial love because it was done with the spellcaster power, but it is what it is. So that's a thing that's happened. They actually had a negative sentiment at the end of the series, but when I moved them into this house, they actually started romantic dancing together and it actually overrode the negative sentiment. I kind of wanted to start with the negative sentiment. After escaping, they were quote unquote rescued by Sim maritime authorities and became kind of celebrity types for a while. Like they have 15 minutes of fame. I've given everyone a level of fame because they were on talk shows like, tell us about your shipwrecked experience. They've not mentioned Kano or Vaya to anyone, but they've talked more broadly about it. So they're a little bit famous. That's another thing they're going to have to navigate. So they've moved to Copperdale. The reason they moved to Copperdale is because they wanted, like, they both actually are Sulani natives. Matilda's family were in fishing and Malachi is a native of that area, but they wanted to get away from Kano's influence. And because the portal to Muapalam is off the shore of Sulani more broadly, they wanted to stay near the ocean, but none of them have ever really dealt with snow before. The kids have never seen snow before. He's out bonding with a banana tree. Are you struggling as much as me, little tree? So they're very concerned about this whole snow thing. I might actually have him build a snow pal and her as well, and they can kind of bond, I guess, over the whole, hey, look, snow's not so bad, but it's very foreign to all of them. Yeah, so Tilly, oh, she's like, no, I don't want to build a snowman. Oh, baby. She's going to go inside and get some milk. Now, I've tried to make this house Is this the house that came with the game? I think it is. But I've made it over in a more Sulani-esque style. A lot of the items they had in their inventories and stuff I've put out. I've put out more Sulani-style furniture because I just thought that was their vibe, you know? I actually still have the giant hoard of treasures that Matilda had been saving. So we can sell those if we need to for money because I'm not planning on topping up their money with cheats. I figure they've afforded the big house because of the money from the interviews, but that I'm not planning on topping them up anymore. So this is little Tilly's room. I think it's adorable. So she's very much leaned into the Sulani aesthetic. She's got stuff like this is a fish from Through the Portal. So they've got different things from the beach. She's got a very beachy vibe. And then we've got Kai's room, which again is quite Sulani-ish, but dialed back a bit because he's not as missing it as desperately as poor Tilly is. So we've got the guitar that was on the island. This is something his dad made on the island. A snowdrop because we had a garden of snowdrops. It was one of the only flowers we had. But his is a bit more connected to the modern world. Oh, Malachi just got to parenting level 10. Baby. All right. So in terms of making a living, he actually doesn't have a job yet, and neither does she. That's a thing we're going to have to get onto because like I said, I'm not planning on cheating them any more money. Oh, buddy, no one likes me. No one will ever like me. Why bother with anything anymore? I don't know who he's talking to, but I feel like both parents would give a similar answer. I'll always love you. So that was Malachi. He actually has a want to talk to Via. He only ever met Via right at the end, but obviously her presence was there through his entire life. She was protecting the Sims on the island. So I could see that he would want to reach out to her. Is she still my deity? Like, this is sort of his faith, I guess. Let's have a quick look at their skills. So parenting 9, wellness 8. I don't know if there's really money in wellness. Can you earn money from that? It might be a freelance career. I'll have to look. Fitness 7, but I can't see her getting into sports and stuff. So, I mean, these guys have all got reasonable fitness because they were in Sulani. Gardening 7? And she does love gardening. She's on this aspiration. Maybe I could put her in the gardening career. I think that could work for Matilda. She loved plants from the start and she had primary kind of responsibility for the garden. Unfortunately, she's going to start as a dirt digger. That's fine. Now, for his skills, let's see. He is handiness and parenting 10. Obviously, I've given all the Sims makeovers. For those of you who did watch the last series, I was talking about putting them in a new save file with Sims already in it. I ended up not doing that because I wanted to keep the sentiments and things and I realized they'd go. I've actually populated the entire world. I've got townies off the gallery. Quite often they're made over versions of townies. So like the goths, the land grabs, they're all in the file. When I say all. If you have favorite townies, let me know and I can add them if I haven't already. I've also got a bunch of Sims primarily from Sakura Leon, who's one of my favorite creators. Like they make made over townies in different styles. So I've also got a bunch of them that I've spread around the world. So it's a populated world now because it wasn't before. I'd killed everybody, but it's not quite your standard EA default world. Now, I mean, a lot of these careers need handiness. There's no way he'd be an astronaut. I know criminal needs handiness, but he wouldn't do that. Thinking about it, he probably doesn't need to because he could be a freelance. Well, I say freelance, not the freelance career, but a freelance woodworker. So I could have him make, dining tables and beds and that kind of thing. Because those sell for a decent amount. And because he's already handiness 10, we could use that to top up as we need to. Now, his sentiments are all related to his beautiful wife. Oh, he wants to try for a baby. He also still has a fear of being cheated on. Funnily enough, Kano did smooch his wife right after he married her. We are in the same neighborhood as this thing. Maybe I could have them take the kids in the morning because obviously they can see this from their house, right? So maybe I'll have them take their kids tomorrow. Tilly was the first one up and she's actually come to the TV. I think for her, it's so strange to her and I think she's a bit enthralled by it. I like to imagine Kai is a bit more indifferent, but I think she's like, yeah, this TV thing is pretty good. Clean up, sweetheart. And then you can come back and watch maybe kids TV. I could actually see her perhaps getting a bit of an unhealthy kind of interest in the TV. That being said, she is a child of the ocean. Her and her brother both are. And they are both missing it terribly. Now, we did bring the chooks with us. These guys ended up with the chooks because I figured when Via moved them back to the real world, she took everything. It was a wholesale uplift. And I've named them all because they didn't have names, but I gave them all Muapalam themed names. Like there's Coconut and Shelly and a bunch of them. 6 eggs. We had a hatchable egg. Yay. The hatchable eggs seem to be working now, by the way, guys. His dad's come out to check on him. It's like, you know, I came out to check the garden. He's like, yeah, it's glitching, Dad. I don't know what to do. Oh, Matilda's come to harvest. This was her routine for such a long time. I actually wonder if they would have more kids. Technically, she's almost an adult. I imagine she's like 30. I have switched it back to long lifespan, by the way. He's also around the same age. So poor Kai is discussing his fears with his mum. He's really worried about starting school tomorrow, and frankly, I can't blame him. I've never played with the high school pack. I'm a little apprehensive. It is spring though, so we are starting to see some snow melt, which is good for these guys. Now, one thing I was hoping if you guys could let me know, for those of you who have played the high school pack, how supportive is it of rotational gameplay? Because I know university isn't. Like if you have a sim in university and you miss a school day because you're playing in another house, your sim won't, like it doesn't pause. I'm assuming with this pack you can do rotational because sometimes you can choose to just have your sim rabbit hole or go to high school. And I would assume it would just think that that's what's happened. Do you know what I mean? But let me know if rotational gameplay is going to be a problem. I may have to stick with playing the other sims on the weekend. The other main family I want to focus on is Milo and Joshua have moved in together. Milo was a model before he got washed away and he had a decent amount of money. He's also gone into social media influencer career. So he's got money. Joshua doesn't really have any. So Joshua's living with him. They're housemates. So I want to follow them as well. Oh, Jillian's come. Jillian and Sebastian and Caspian, they're still in Sulani. I forget the name of the other 2 areas of Sulani, but the one where the bar is, they're in that sort of central area. I don't know where she's going. Where are you going? Oh, she wanted to give a gift to someone. I guess it's Malachi. I mean, I don't know how far Muapalam is or Sulani is from Copperdale. They're both on the coast, obviously. A gummy bear pancakes. She's obviously very excited to have access to gummy bears again. That's hilarious. Okay, so I've literally never been here before. I've actually started recording after downloading the pack. Like, that's all I've done. So I've just told them all together here. They're slowly kind of trickling in. Oh, she's afraid of the dark. Why are you afraid of the dark? It's 4 in the... Oh, I guess it is 5 p.m. Can you take a photo, a romantic photo with your husband? Because that would be adorable. Ooh, there's a tunnel of love. Haunted house. I'm not sending my child with fear of the dark into a haunted house. That's super cute. Okay, what's the photo? I need the photo. Ah, it's her kissing him. I'm pretty sure that's one of the photos you can take on your phone now. So not so exciting, but that's fine. Go on the Ferris wheel. I know you can't actually see them on the Ferris wheel, which is unfortunate. Do a friendly introduction to this teen. He's like, hi, Charlie Foster. Oh, fun to be around. This is obviously not a Copperdale sim. Although, is that a base game jacket? Actually, maybe. I'm not sure. So she's like, hey, you know, you look vaguely familiar. That unbelievable story, frankly, was good instinct. Let's go with that. It's like, yeah, you know, I was one of those shipwrecked people. Oh, she's so scared. Oh, baby. He's obviously having to give her a hug and look after her. Is there somewhere you can buy... Hey, was that Caleb? What is it with vampires in my saves working vending stalls? In my not so berry save, it's always Vlad. Ice cream! Not really the weather for it. Lychee milk bubble tea. Like, that's got the tropical vibe that I think she'd be here for. So the girl he was talking to is obviously like, wow, that's crazy. You were on an island? And then she's like, yeah, I'm going to go to bed. But at least it was a positive first impression. In terms of how he interacts with the other Sims, I was kind of planning on basing it on first impressions. All right, she's busting and she can't just pee behind a bush like she would have. So I genuinely don't know if there's a public toilet here. Surely there should be. Thing is, I keep seeing that and thinking it is. But it is not. Ah, is that the school mascot? I think that's the school mascot, right? Why is there no toilet here? And she's like, is that a creature that lives around here? And her parents are having to explain, no, that's not a real creature. Oh, he's cold and she's trying to warm him up. These two are being really hands-on cute with one another. I'm gonna have to send them home. All right, go to the bathroom. Quick, go. Yep, go. Stop talking to your mum. No, you don't need to watch. Go to the bathroom, Tilly. Honestly, Kai, you weren't that desperate. I didn't realise this was a single bathroom house. It's going to be a problem. I deleted the basement. This house came with a media room. I just deleted that. I didn't think we needed those kind of bills. No, Kai, get out. Seriously, she's going to wet herself and it's going to be all your fault. She made it. Awesome. All right, it's later in the day. The kids have gone to bed. And because he has this fear, I thought maybe I would have them do something about that. He's ready to sit down and talk with his partner. It won't be an easy conversation, but being vulnerable and talking about insecurities never is. Talk about his relationship fears. He is worried about how she has an emotional attachment to Kano, and Kano is a deity. He's a very overpowered sim when I built him. He can do a lot of things. He's like, how do I compete with that? And she's like, I moved here with you. He's not here. Declare your love publicly. Now, she has the try for baby want as well. He doesn't have it right now. He's got wants relating to other sims. But it's a terrible way to repair a relationship, but I'm actually... Whoa! They're feeling amorous, but he rejected her public declaration. Because I was going to have them try for a baby. I thought that seemed like a good way to wrap up this part. I wonder if he rejected her because of the fear. That would be actually surprising, but good coding. Are they doing it? Okay, they've come out here to talk. Oh, she's sick. Probably being out in the snow. They're not trying for baby, you guys. And this happened in my another save when I queued the Sims to woo her, and they just stood and chatted for ages, and eventually they did it. Yeah, they are. They are actually doing it. So it did the same thing it did last time. That's so weird. I'm gonna leave them to it. I'm not gonna cheat to look. I don't actually know where we would put a baby. I'll probably extend this roof line out and turn that into a bedroom. I think that would probably be the easiest spot. Obviously, we can't really afford massive renovations right now unless he spends a lot of time doing some woodworking and stuff. I don't want this part to get super long, so I'm going to wrap it up here. It's a shame. I want to follow Kai into his first day of school. I might actually record a second part straight after this one just because I'm dead curious to play with the school part of it. Obviously, you guys will have done it before, seen it before, I'm sure. I'd still love to hear what you guys think. I won't play the other household that I was going to follow until I've heard back from you guys about high school and whether it bugs out if you do rotational. If anyone knows, I'd love to hear from you. But hopefully you've enjoyed. I'm trying to minimize the amount of info dumping of like, and these are the Sims and this is their backstory, but there's a little bit of that, I feel like, and I'm sorry if it dragged a little bit in spots, especially for those of you who watch Shipwrecked and already know who these guys are. Yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.